So, the video starts by showing a guy. He's sleeping on the bed, and there are a lot of girls' stuff scattered around him. Then, slowly, he opens his eyes. As he gets up, he's thinking to himself, "Damn it, how did I end up on a hotel bed?" He's trying to make sense of everything. Suddenly, his eyes glance to the side, and he sees a beautiful girl sleeping there. Looking at her, he thinks to himself, "Looking at her, it seems like I spent the night with this stranger beauty." He had been talking about all this stuff, but suddenly a message pops up on his phone. He checks it and sees a message from a girl named Zhao Jia. The message says, "Why haven't you replied to me for so long? Don't you care that I might get angry?" After reading Zhao Jia's message, he's thinking to himself, "I clearly remember Zhao Jia betrayed me right after we joined college. What's going on here?" Clearly, he had blocked her on WeChat, and the biggest thing was, judging by the tone of her message, it seemed like we were still in a relationship. After that, while thinking about all this, he checked the date on his phone, and when he saw the date, he got seriously shocked. While shocked, he was silently asking himself, "How did I end up back in the past? Am I reborn?" Suddenly, memories from the past started coming back to him. His girlfriend Jiao Jia was leaving with another guy saying, "Zhang Chan, you've been sending me too much money. You're always late. Your emotional value is really low. You don't understand me at all, and you don't even love me. But now, I've found someone else who understands me perfectly. He loves me a lot. So here's some advice. Be smart and get out of my life for good. Otherwise, you're going to embarrass yourself in front of everyone." That's when the scene shifts. Zhangsh, thinking about the past, quietly says to himself, "I promised her. I had promised I'd care that much. Always love her." But reality turned out to be something else. Honestly, knowing her personality, she's probably going to ask for money on the next chat. But I never expected I'd be so blindly in love with the past that I became like a leaking dog. Then, thinking all this through, he texts his girlfriend saying, "Let's just break up." Right after seeing Zhengsh's message, his girlfriend replies, "Jingsh, about what you said." "What do you mean? Do you actually want to break up with me?" Zhengsh was saying as he replied after hearing this. "Come on, can't you understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, let's just break up." After hearing this, Zhang Chan's girlfriend got a bit confused. She replied saying, "But why?" "Fine, forget it, I'm giving you one more chance. Just delete that message you sent right now. Go." Hearing this, Zhangsh said, "Go." "Jia, I'm really serious about this. We're two completely different people. We're just not right for each other. That's why I'm telling you again, let's just break up. And yeah, after this, we should never contact each other again." Meanwhile, Zhangsh is thinking to himself that he never really thought about his past life, nor did he ever doubt that the person he loved could be such a disgusting woman. Zhangsh is lost in these thoughts when suddenly a system panel pops up right in front of him. A notification pops up on the system panel with a ding. "Congratulations! The host has activated their dream come true system." But as soon as Young looks at the system panel in front of him, he starts to really doubt it. Deep down, he's thinking, dream come true system? Man, nothing this good ever happened in my first life. But in this life, I've been reborn. And on top of that, I even got a cheat code. So has the time finally come for me to reach the absolute peak of my life? And with that, the Zhang system. He touches the system to check the details, and as soon as he does, his profile pops up on the system panel. Name, Zhangsh, age, 18 years old, height, 182 centimeters, appearance, 85 points, level 1, system money, gain, you earn 0.1 per second. Looking at his profile, Zhang is totally shocked. He's thinking to himself, 0.1 human per second? That means 8,640 humans per day and 259,200 humans per month. That's seriously cool. He was just thinking this when, whispering in his ear, the old man says, "That girl who was talking about the leaking pipe, what you're thinking isn't really about a pipe. It's something else, a different kind of leak that only gets fixed after a night in bed. You get what I'm trying to say?" After hearing that guy's explanation, The old man gets totally shocked. Looking at the girl, he says, "Oh my God, how bold the younger generation has become these days." Then the scene shifts. A few hours later, here's the scene. We see a real estate office, and right in front of it, there are two real estate agents waiting for someone. Suddenly, a luxury car pulls up in front of them, and after seeing the car, one of the guys is thinking to himself, "Ah, great! Here comes another rich dude, just burning his daddy's money for no reason. Total waste of time. Let's let Sabu handle this guy." Then suddenly, we see in front of those two agents the luxury. No one else but Jiang Chan comes out of the car. Right then, after seeing Jiang Chan, a guy who's a real estate agent starts to leave. Watching him go, the girl quietly says, "Bro, I've never worked in this field before, but you expect me to handle all of this alone." After hearing that, the guy replies softly, "You've practiced this many times before, so don't worry. Just follow the training and everything will be fine." Then, right after that guy leaves, we see the girl, Jaub. She comes up to Jiang Chang and politely greets him, saying, "Welcome, sir. I'm a real estate agent. Jaub here. How can I help you today?" Hearing this, Jiang says, "Well, show me some suitable properties." After hearing that, Jaub replies, "All right, no problem. But before that, could you tell me roughly what your budget is?" The two of them, he's always talking about everything, but suddenly we see the guy on their side who isn't willing to get Jiangsh to introduce the property. Smiling to himself, he's thinking, "Go ahead, don't blame me, because a lot of people come into this business just to show up. That's why you need to learn first who the real client is." He's thinking all this when suddenly we see Zub on both sides. She's explaining all the property details to Jiangsh. Then the scene shifts. It happens. Then it shows us a scene a few minutes later. There, we see Jawab. Suddenly, he realizes something. Then he's telling Jung along with Harbari. "Oh no, I almost forgot. Sir, do you have a specific area in mind? Like where exactly you want to buy the property?" After hearing this, Jung says, "Well, I'm looking for a place that's really easy to rent out." After hearing Jiangsh's words, Jawab says, "All right, got it, sir. Please wait just a few seconds. Go right there." After hearing what he said and seeing his actions, Jung is thinking to himself how inexperienced he is. He's definitely new to this job. Talking feels a bit awkward, but his sales tactic is totally genuine. Let's check his profile once. Then he starts scanning the zoo using his friendly scanner. As soon as he scans, the zoo's profile pops up on his system panel. Name Jaub, age 19, height 163 centimeters, appearance 90, and body. Count 0 was there, checking Jaub's profile, and in his mind, Jung kept thinking that Jaub had started working without even going to college. It's not that easy. While he was thinking all this, Pars was looking at Jaub, telling Jung, "Sir, please, as a reward, you're being given a skill. Thanks to this skill, every cell on your tongue gets stronger, making your tongue powerful and flexible." When Jiang Chang saw this reward skill from the system, he was totally shocked. Quietly, he thought, "Is this even possible during Holy?" Then, using the skill given by the system, Jiangsh grabbed Zhao, kissed him deeply on the lips, and right then, his kissing skills suddenly improved. After watching, Zhaoja gets really shocked. She's thinking to herself, who else can kiss that well? And the biggest thing is, his way of kissing now is completely different from before. She's lost in all these thoughts. But suddenly, we see Jung. In a serious voice, he's saying, "Don't make any mistakes. Kiss seriously, because right now, this is just the beginning." Then the scene shifts. We see the next morning. There's Jung Chen, yawning and waking up from sleep. But suddenly, his hand accidentally touches something on the side. When he looks closely, we see there's some money lying there, but he's not supposed to be there. After seeing this, Jung Chang quietly thinks to himself, "Damn it. Does Zhao think I'm some kind of animal?" He's just about to think all this when suddenly his eyes land on a note next to the money. He reads the note. Right then, Zhao thanks Jung Chang. But after reading the note, Jung Chang gets even angrier. Yeah. He was thinking to himself, Really, this Zhao is a super interesting woman, but it's such a shame. She didn't leave behind any contact info at all. Anyway, forget all that for now. By the way, the system gave me a critical hit card as a reward a while ago. So, what exactly is this critical hit card? Could I maybe use it to earn more money or gain more experience? Then, after hearing Jiangche's words, the system cleared Jiangche's doubts. He's saying, if you use the critical hit card and spend any amount within the limited range, you'll get back multiple times what you spend. You could get 10 times the return, maybe 20 times, or even more. It all depends on your luck. But yeah, the maximum return you can get is 50 times. No more than that. After seeing the notification from this system, Young Chang is quietly thinking to himself. So, what this means is if I buy a supercar worth 10 million with a maximum return of 50 times, I'd have 500 million in my bank account. Well, now that I've become a ribbon, rich, and I have a cheat system, I'm not going to waste all this. In this life, I'm going to become the world-famous richest man, and along with that, I want to write my own unique story in this world. According to my future knowledge, many big companies are about to appear in this world soon. And taking advantage of this time, I'm building my own largest empire. I'm about to set things straight. Honestly, until I take a loan from the bank, it's way easier for me to manipulate everyone using my wealthy status. After thinking all this through, Yungsh comes out of the hotel and heads over to the supercar the system gave him. But just then, time decides to play its part. There's already a beautiful girl sitting inside the car. With her captivating charm, she's teasing young Chang, saying, "Hey, handsome brother, is this luxury car yours?" After listening, Jiangch says very seriously, "Yeah, is there a problem?" It was only after hearing Jiangch say this that we showed the girl. She places 2 big oranges in front of Jiangch and says with a deep charm, "Please, can you write me a write? I really need to get home quickly. I got a notification from the app that my home's water pipe is leaking. Can you help me, handsome?" After hearing the girl say this, we look over at Jiangch. Using the friendly scanner, he starts scanning the girl, and as soon as the scan completes, her profile pops up on Jiangch's system panel. Name, Chen Li, age, 23, height, 168 centimeters, appearance, 85, body count, 28, host compatibility with Chen Li, 90%. Seeing her profile on his system, Yungsh gets into his car and thinks to himself, wow, this girl has been involved with 28 people, and the craziest part is, we just met. So how can her compatibility with me be 90%? Honestly, it feels so real from the inside. He's done. Then, as Jiangch is leaving, he's telling that girl, Chain Li, sorry, the girl who's involved with 28 guys is just not my type. After that, he speeds off in his car, and from behind, Chain Li watches him go. She's totally shocked after hearing what Jing Chang said. Grinding her teeth, she's thinking to herself, how does he even know I have 28 boyfriends? Damn, who is this guy? Then, feeling down, she starts to walk away. As she's leaving, she's quietly telling herself, you don't see rich and handsome guys like that every day. She's thinking all this as she walks away, but suddenly we see an old man step in. He stops the girl and says, young lady, I just heard your pipe has a leak. I'm a professional pipe maintenance guy with 30 years of experience. If that handsome guy can't fix your leaking pipe, I can. And after hearing the old man say this, the girl gets really shocked and embarrassed. She's yelling, saying, so you're an old man? That's disgusting. Hearing this, the old guy gets super confused. He says, wait a minute. If that young boy can fix your leaky pipe, then why can't I, a licensed pro, fix it? After hearing this, the girl gets even angrier and starts to walk away, grinding her teeth. He's thinking, oh God, what kind of people am I meeting today? Just then, we see that old guy again. He looks really confused. He doesn't understand what he said that made the girl so mad. Suddenly, we spot a guy standing off to the side. He's laughing, and seeing him laugh, the old guy asks, still confused, hey, why are you laughing? What's so funny? The guy then starts to clear up the old guy's confusion. Whispering in his ear, the old man says, "That girl who was talking about the leaking pipe, what you're thinking isn't really about a pipe. It's something else, a different kind of leak that only gets fixed after a night in bed. You get what I'm trying to say?" After hearing that guy's explanation, the old man gets totally shocked. Looking at the girl, he says, "Oh my God, how bold the younger generation has become these days." Then the scene shifts. A few hours later, here's the scene. We see a real estate office, and right in front of it, there are two real estate agents waiting for someone. Suddenly, a luxury car pulls up in front of them, and after seeing the car, one of the guys is thinking to himself, "Ah, great! Here comes another rich dude, just burning his daddy's money for no reason. Total waste of time. Let's let Sabu handle this guy." Then suddenly, we see in front of those two agents the luxury. No one else but Jiang Chan comes out of the car. Right then, after seeing Jiang Chan, a guy who's a real estate agent starts to leave. Watching him go, the girl quietly says, "Bro, I've never worked in this field before, but you expect me to handle all of this alone." After hearing that, the guy replies softly, "You've practiced this many times before, so don't worry. Just follow the training and everything will be fine." Then, right after that guy leaves, we see the girl, Jaub. She comes up to Jiang Chang and politely greets him, saying, "Welcome, sir. I'm a real estate agent. Jaub here. How can I help you today?" Hearing this, Jiang says, "Well, show me some suitable properties." After hearing that, Jaub replies, "All right, no problem. But before that, could you tell me roughly what your budget is?" The two of them, he's always talking about everything, but suddenly we see the guy on their side who isn't willing to get Jiangsh to introduce the property. Smiling to himself, he's thinking, "Go ahead, don't blame me, because a lot of people come into this business just to show up. That's why you need to learn first who the real client is." He's thinking all this when suddenly we see Zub on both sides. She's explaining all the property details to Jiangsh. Then the scene shifts. It happens. Then it shows us a scene a few minutes later. There, we see Jawab. Suddenly, he realizes something. Then he's telling Jung along with Harbari. "Oh no, I almost forgot. Sir, do you have a specific area in mind? Like where exactly you want to buy the property?" After hearing this, Jung says, "Well, I'm looking for a place that's really easy to rent out." After hearing Jiangsh's words, Jawab says, "All right, got it, sir. Please wait just a few seconds. Go right there." After hearing what he said and seeing his actions, Jung is thinking to himself how inexperienced he is. He's definitely new to this job. Talking feels a bit awkward, but his sales tactic is totally genuine. Let's check his profile once. Then he starts scanning the zoo using his friendly scanner. As soon as he scans, the zoo's profile pops up on his system panel. Name Jaub, age 19, height 163 centimeters, appearance 90, and body. Count 0 was there, checking Jaub's profile, and in his mind, Jung kept thinking that Jaub had started working without even going to college. It's not that easy. While he was thinking all this, Pars was looking at Jaub, telling Jung, "Sir, please check out this location once. This spot is absolutely perfect. Property prices here range from 3 lakhs to over 1 million UI." Hearing this, Jung got a bit worried and thought to himself, "The critical hit card the system gave me was only for 1 million. It'll work internally. If I spend more than that, like over 1 million, the critical hit card won't work." After watching Jung stay quiet for a long time, Zhao says on the side, "Sir, are you unsatisfied? Should I pick another property for you?" Hearing this, Jung, thinking to himself, says, "If I buy a property for 800,000 or 900,000 US dollars, it's just going to be a loss for me." After thinking all this through, he tells Zhao, "This property's price is over 1 million. It's listed above. Can we negotiate this? If possible, I'll buy 5 properties like this all at once." That's when Jabu starts to get suspicious after hearing this. Suspicious about what? Yes, definitely. But are you sure you'll buy all 5 properties at once? After hearing this, Zhang speaks up. "Exactly right. If you price each property at exactly 1 million yuan, I'll pay the full amount in cash and buy all 5. Hearing this, Jabu is really shocked. Suspicious. Hote was asking, "Are you going to pay the full amount in cash?" Jiangsh replied, "Exactly. I want to pay in full cash, and I want to hire you for my rental management." Hearing this, Jiaoub got really happy. She thought to herself, "If this is true, I'll get a pretty good commission from both sales and rentals. Oh God, this is an awesome deal." Then she showed those two the guy in the distance who wasn't agreeing to introduce the property to Jiangsh. She told them everything about him. He listens to the conversation and is totally shocked afterward. He's thinking to himself, is this rich guy really planning to buy 5 properties all at once? Damn, I feel like slapping myself. I seriously regret it a lot. Right there, the sun shifts. A few minutes later, here's what happens. We go to see Jung. He's already sealed a property deal with him, and for that reason, the manager of that place has brought a contract. Holding the contract in front of Jung, he says, "Here's the deal. Sir, I'm the manager here. Zhao Bua and I have secured 5 properties for you, and the total price is 5 million yuan. We'll be getting a 2% commission. You should take a look at the contract once. If everything seems okay to you, go ahead and sign it." After hearing what the manager said, we check out Jiangsh. He's signing the contract right away, saying, "All right, no problem. I'll sign now because I fully trust Yao Bua." "Yeah. Anyway, if I need to buy property again in the future, I'll get in touch with him." After hearing all this, we step aside. She looks towards Jung while blasting away, thinking to herself that the agency will get a 2% commission on this deal. And after the agency takes their cut, I'll get between 40 to 50,000 yuan. But Mr. Jiang is planning to buy even more property down the line. What kind of guy is this Mr. Jiang? Just then, suddenly, we see that on the other side, Jung's... The system keeps buzzing with notifications. "Congratulations, host. You've spent 1 million units 5 times. The critical strike card has been activated, which gave you 3 returns of 50 times, 1 of 45 times, and 1 of 35 times. Seeing these notifications, Jung is totally shocked. He's thinking to himself, "Damn! I was only expecting a 10 times return. Looks like my vision was way too low." He's just about to think more when suddenly, then another notification pops up on his system. "Congratulations, host, you've leveled up. Because of this, you're now getting 0.8 yuan every single second." Seeing this notification again, Jiangsh gets even more shocked. He's thinking to himself, "Looking at this, it feels like Zabu is my lucky charm. Spending 25 million yu and earning 230 million yu back, that's huge. Whatever the purchase is, this cheat power life is completely different from my past life. If that's the case, then I'm definitely going to make the most of this opportunity. I'll take advantage of this." Then, while thinking all this, he says to Yaub, "Yaub, can you come with me for a quick move?" Hearing this, Yaub replies, "Yes, sir. Tell me what's up." But just then, we see the manager on the side. He comes close to Yaub's ear and says in a serious tone, "Yaub, because of Mr. Jiang, you've earned a pretty good commission. So, take him out for dinner tonight and try to build a good relationship between you two." Right then, the manager's... After hearing all that, Job gets really shocked. She feels embarrassed. She drifts off into a fantasy where after dinner, Zheng Chan is taking her to the hotel and they're gonna get cozy in bed, with him whispering softly, "This isn't our last time. You'll always be with me. I promise you, I'll give you a better life." Imagining all this, Sabu gets super embarrassed. In her shy voice, she's telling Jiang Chan, "Mr. Jiang, maybe not tonight, but first, we should really get to know each other better." They know the drill. After hearing this, Jiang says, "Why not tonight? Just give me your bank account number." Hearing this shocks Jiaob a lot. "What bank account number? Why do you need my bank account number?" After hearing this, Jiang smiles and says, "Well, today you're my lucky charm. That's why I want to thank you, and I also want to see you again." After hearing Jiang say this, Jiaob gets confused. She's completely confused about what Zheng Chan is trying to say. Then, without thinking twice, she just gives Zheng Chan her bank account number. Right after that, the scene shifts. A few seconds later, we see a message pop up on Jiaobu's phone from the bank. "Congratulations, 35,000 yuan has been deposited into your account." Seeing this message shocks Jiaobu big time. Meanwhile, Jung is shown smiling, silently thinking to himself, I just made 200 million. Easy. So giving Zaub just 35,000 iman and gaining his trust isn't a big deal. But then suddenly, while using Jiangche's system again, a notification pops up. Congratulations. The probability on host Zaub is now 85%. Seeing this notification, Jiangche feels a bit disappointed about Zaub. In his mind, he's thinking, just because of 35,000 uni, his probability on me went from 50% to 85%. Honestly, money is everything, no matter how good a person's character is. Everyone bows down when money's involved. Jiangche is thinking all this through. But then we see Wei Side nearby. She's looking closely at Jingchen, blessing him silently, thinking to herself, I just realized Mr. Jiang is really handsome. If he wants to do all that with me tonight. Yeah, things are moving pretty fast, but still it feels right to her. That's what she's thinking. Suddenly we see Jiang leaving. As he walks away, he says, all right, fine, go today. You did a really great job. I'm heading out now. We'll definitely meet next time. Only after seeing Jingchan leave from there do we go to see Jiaob. She tries to stop Jiangche to say something to him, but she can't finish her sentence. Before that, Jiangche drives his car and leaves, and Jiaob appears right behind him. She's watching Jiangche leave, thinking to herself, did Mr. Jiang just leave like that? So guys, that's the end of today's episode. How did you like the video? So at the start of the video, we see Zhongchan coming home. He's saying, Mom, I'm home. Hearing this, his mom says, oh, little Jiang, you came home just at the right time. Look, I've cut your favorite watermelon for you. After hearing this, Jung says, oh, thanks, Mom. But then suddenly we see Jungchan's dad standing nearby. He asks Jungchan, did you go out for a walk? By the way, you said you were going on a graduation trip, right? Where are you planning to go? Have you decided which university you want to attend? After hearing his dad say this, Jiangche replies, well, I'm thinking about going to Sangha University. But before that, I want to check out what the area is like. After hearing Jiangche say this, his dad replies, all right, whatever decision you make, we'll support you. And as for expenses, don't worry. Your mom will transfer you the money. After hearing his dad say this, Mom says with a laugh, honey, if you keep throwing money at him like this, you'll spoil him. He'll turn into a mama's boy or a daddy's boy. Then finding a wife for him will be super tough. Listening to this, Jiangche feels a bit embarrassed and says, come on, Mom, don't talk like that. But inside, he's thinking, I'm not some fool from a past life. I won't let you both down anymore. I'll do something great for you. I'll bring a great daughter-in-law. Then the scene shifts. We see the morning scene of the next day. Right there, we see Jung. He's already boarded the plane to Sankai City. As he looks for his seat, he's thinking to himself, I should have booked my ticket earlier. Then I wouldn't be dealing with all these problems. He's lost in his thoughts, moving forward. Suddenly, he bumps into a girl. Apologizing, he says, excuse me, please forgive me. But when the girl turns around, after seeing that girl, Jung starts getting really suspicious. He wonders, what's going on? Then after seeing Jung, the girl says, oh, you're Jung, right? Hearing that, Jung replies, exactly right, by the way, this is my seat. Right then, the girl says, wow, what a coincidence. My seat is right here too. After that, she sits down in that seat, but suddenly someone shows up, and that guy pushes Jung and Zayan aside and comes right in front of them. Hey, hello, beautiful lady, my seat is right here, just next to you. Looking at this, it feels like we're going to be traveling together. After hearing this guy, Jing Chan tells Jung Chan to take his seat, and Jing Chan himself sits in the middle seat. Seeing all this, the guy gets a little annoyed. In a serious tone, he says, hey bro, this middle seat belongs to the beautiful lady, right? So you can't just switch seats like that on the plane. After hearing that guy, Jang Son says, we're traveling together, right? So why does it matter where we sit? Why bother changing seats? Hearing this, the guy sits down and asks Huan, so, beautiful lady, why are you going to Sungai City? Reluctantly, Huan replies, maybe for work. Then, while everyone else is busy, she says to Jang on her side, Jiang Chan listens to everything. Why? Why are you leaving? After hearing this, Young said, well, I was a bit bored at home, so I thought I'd take a little trip to Sungay City. The two of them were smiling like lovebirds, flirting with each other. Suddenly, I saw that same guy off to the side. He was bothering those two, saying, I had to repeat a year, but I just graduated now. I'm also heading to Sungay City for a trip. By the way, my name is Sane. Beautiful. Hey, lady, nice to meet you. By the way, just a heads up about beauty. Sungay City has a lot of tourist traps. I've been here many times. The hotels here are basically disaster zones, but the one I'm staying at is really good. My dad arranged it. He's even sending a car to pick me up. If you all want, I can give you a ride since taxi fares here are super expensive. Meanwhile, listen to what that guy has to say. After that, Zion starts feeling really annoyed. She stays silent. She doesn't respond at all. But then suddenly Jiang says, no, there's no need for that. The hotel I booked also has a pickup service. They'll come to pick me up. And as for Juyan, he's with me, so you don't need to worry about any of this. After hearing Jiang's words, the guy says, really? If that's the case, which hotel did you book? Jiang Chan replies, Yangyan. Hotel. When Jiang Chen says this, the guy gets super shocked. He asks, are you talking about the Yangyan Hotel? The ultra-luxury one that costs 3.3 billion yuan? I've actually stayed there once. Just one room for a night costs 9,000 yuan, but as far as I know, they don't have any pickup service. You're not lying, right? After hearing this, Jiang Chen says, well, I don't really know much about all that stuff. Because I booked the country villa. After hearing Jiang Chen's words, Juan was a bit shocked and said suspiciously, the price for the country art villa is 80,000 yuan for just one night? Jiang Chen smiled and replied, come on, you're talking like you're not from a rich family yourself. Then Jiang Chen thought to himself, Juan is only... She wasn't the school beauty. In fact, she belonged to a well-known rich family in the city. When she used to come to school, she would arrive in a Rolls-Royce. Everyone in our school wanted to be with her, but no one even had the guts to approach her. She was beautiful, rich, but never arrogant. My past life focus was completely on my ex-girlfriend Zhao Jia, so I didn't pay much attention to Juyan. But I did hear that when we were in the second year of high school, Juyan's family, there was a problem, and since then, Juan started walking to school. That's when the scene shifts. I show Juan. She's feeling down and telling Jiang Chan, I'm not rich anymore. Seeing Juan so upset, Jiang Chan thinks to himself, ugh, I shouldn't have said that. I need to change the subject as soon as possible. Then, quickly switching topics, Jiang Chan and Juan start talking about their school life. Meanwhile, Jiang Chan listens to everything. After that, Juyan smiles and says, yeah, you're totally right. Our school life was so much fun. Seeing Juyan smile like that, Jungchan takes a deep breath and thinks to himself, all right, I've finally got this situation under control. Then he decides to see how much of a soft spot Juyan has for him. After that, Jung activates his friendly scanner on Juyan, and once it's activated, Zhang's system opens Juyan's profile. Name, Juyan, age, 18, height, 172 centimeters, appearance, 96, body. Count 0 host Zayan's favorability rating is 75%. Seeing Zayan's favorability for him so high on the system terminal, he gets a bit shocked. He's thinking to himself, how can 75 be so high? Is it possible that Zayan has secretly liked him all along? Just then, the scene shifts. We jump to a few hours later. There we see Jung. He has arrived at Sungay Airport with Zayan. As soon as they step off at the airport, a beautiful lady appears right in front of Jung. Kay stands in front of a car holding a nameplate. With her confident attitude, she's telling Young Chan, hello, Mr. Young. My name is Yan. Since you booked the country villa, I'm your private bottle. Seeing her confident vibe and stylish outfit, Young feels his heart skip a beat. In his mind, he's thinking, Yan, just like I expected, everything's totally professional. Then, while still thinking all this, he turns to Juan beside him and says, by the way, Juyan, Where do you live? After hearing this, Juyan says, I stay at a friend's place. Actually, it's not far from Yangyan Hotel. So Yangch, don't worry about me. I'll take a taxi myself. But then suddenly, we see Jang. He's loading Juyan's suitcase into his car and says, Juyan, get in the car. We're old classmates, so there's no need for you to act all strange. By the way, Yang, can you give my classmate a lift first? After hearing this, Jung's butler says, yeah, sure, no problem. Then the three of them start driving towards Juyan's destination. But suddenly, we see that the same guy who was bothering Juyan and Youngjan inside the plane is following their car. He's thinking to himself, is this guy for real? I just hope this beautiful girl doesn't fall for his tricks. If that guy drugs her and does whatever he wants, all her beauty will be ruined. She'll go. No matter what happens, I have to save that girl. Maybe saving her will make her fall in love with me later. Then the scene shifts. It shows us the scene half an hour later. There we see Young. He's just dropped Juyan off at her destination. As Juyan steps out of the car, she says, Young-chan, I'm really happy I met you. If you don't mind, let's add each other on chat. I'll treat you later. Hearing this from Yuyan. Later, Young-chan says, yeah, sure, no problem at all. By the way, since you said it yourself, don't forget. After hearing this, Juyan says, come on, how is that even possible? Anyway, thanks a lot for today. Then June starts heading to her friend's place, and Youngsun goes to the hotel. But just then, suddenly, we spot that annoying guy who was following them both. He's really obsessed with watching what's happening right in front of him. He's thinking to himself, how is this even possible? That guy is actually letting such a beautiful girl go just like that. Honestly, looking at it now, it feels like my hero's romantic encounter got completely ruined. Then the scene shifts to 1 hour later. Jangan arrives at the country villa he had booked. Watching the view in front of him, he's quietly thinking to himself, I'm not a bad guy. Yang Yan's country villa at the hotel, considering how much money I've spent, it all feels worth it. He's lost in these thoughts when suddenly we see Jang's private butler, Yan, sneaking up from behind. Slowly unfolding the clothes, she says, well, Jang, your stuff is all set. Seeing all this, Jang Chan was totally shocked. So he's saying what? What are you doing? Don't tell me this is part of your service too. After hearing this, Yan says, I'm definitely supposed to help you bathe. That's part of my job. But when it comes to your underwear, you'll have to handle that yourself. Then, Jang Chan undresses completely and steps into the water to bathe. He had gone, and on that side, we see Yan. She's wearing some gloves and says, Jang Chan, cleaning you is part of my service. After that, we see Yan. She slowly starts cleaning Jang Chan's whole body. Watching all this, Jang Chan gets really excited. He's thinking to himself, damn it, these feelings are amazing. I'm getting so excited, but I have to control myself. Honestly, if I look closely, Yan really is. She's way more attractive. Then, lost in her fantasy, Jung-chan keeps thinking about how Yan is going to give her a special service. Remembering this fantasy, Jung-chan gets super excited. But suddenly, we see Yan. She's waking Jung-chan up, saying, Jung-chan, your body feels way too warm. Has the water gotten a little hot? Hearing Yan say this, Jung-chan snaps back to reality and thinks to himself, damn it, what am I even thinking? Huh? If Yan had been even a little late in calling me, I would have totally lost it. Jiang was just thinking about all this when suddenly Yang, who was standing behind, spoke up. Mr. Jiang, there's a reception happening at our Young Hotel tonight. Since you're a super VIP, you can attend. After hearing this, Jiang asked, what reception? What kind of reception? Right then, Yan said, one of our hotel's platinum guests organized it, and at this reception, Manly is about to take some action regarding some jewelry. After hearing this from Yan, Jiang says, all right, if that's the case, I'll definitely go. Then the scene shifts. We see a scene a few hours later. There, we see Yan has brought Jiang to the action house. After that, as they're leaving, she says, all right, Mr. Jiang, I'm heading off now. You enjoy yourself. If you need anything, just contact me. Right after Yan leaves, Jiangch looks around. Seeing the scene, he's thinking to himself, oh, the action's already started. The surroundings are really beautiful too. Then, still thinking all this, he ends up right where the action is happening. There, an anchor is announcing to everyone, all right, the next action is a top-notch watch. After developing it for a full 10 years, it's finally being launched in the market today. This is a global limited edition. Only 10 of these watches exist worldwide. All right, let's start the bidding. The bidding price starts at 50 million. After hearing the anchor's words and checking out the watch at the auction, Yungsh was totally shocked. He got super excited. In his mind, he was thinking, is this watch really only 15 million right now? Because as far as he knew, its market price would go over 30 million within just 3 years. So, after thinking all this through, he placed a bid of 15.5 million yuan to get the watch. But then suddenly a guy is placing a bid, saying, I'm bidding 16 million yuan. Even after seeing someone else place a bid right there, Jiangch doesn't stop. He keeps bidding continuously. Then, when everyone there sees Jiangch placing such a high bid, they all get seriously shocked. Everyone starts talking among themselves. Someone there says, holy cow, who is this guy? He's spending 18 million just for one watch. And on the other side, we see that after Jiangch's 18 million bid, no one ever bids on that watch. After seeing that, the anchor on stage is announcing 18 million once, 18 million twice, 18 million 3 times, sold. Congratulations, man, you've won this item at 35. That's when things start to change. On the other side, it shows 2 rich second-generation young guys approaching, and one of them is saying, hey buddy, hello, my name's Kayun Fen, and my friend here is Wang Zhen. Actually, I was the one bidding against you to get this watch. By the way, I can see that, Brother Zheng. I've started liking this watch a lot. Does Brother Zheng usually get really interested in watches? After hearing this, Young was saying, well, I wouldn't say I'm interested or that I like it. This is actually the first time I'm buying a watch like this. I just wanted to try something new. After hearing this from Jiang, Queen Fan was totally shocked. He laughed and said, damn it, Brother Young is seriously something else. By the way, I've never seen Brother Jiang in a place like this before. I've seen you around. You seem really unfamiliar. After hearing this, Jiangch says, well, I just came to Sungai City yesterday to join the university, so it's totally normal that you haven't seen me before. Hearing this, Queen Fan gets even more shocked. He asks suspiciously, are you a university student? That means you're only 18 years old? Damn, that's even more shocking. At your age, I don't even have someone like you as an extra. He never even dares to take ordinary action. But no matter what, Brother Young, if we get time in the future, we'll definitely hang out together. After hearing this, Young says, yeah, sure, no problem. Then, only after talking to Young, Wang Jian and Qian Fian leave. Right after the 2 of them leave, suddenly a notification pops up on Young's system saying, congratulations, host, you've leveled up. Now, as long as you exist in this world, you'll get one-on-one every single second. They're about to start earning. After checking the system notifications, Young Money Mom is saying that now, with the level up, my monthly income has already hit 2.59 million, and the yearly income has reached 30 million. For regular folks, that's a huge amount, but according to my future plans, that amount is just a drop in the ocean. Jing Chan is thinking all this as he moves forward. Suddenly, his eyes catch something to the side. After seeing it, he gets really shocked and says, so, is it really you, Jiao's? Only then did we realize that the Jiao's standing in front of Jing Chan was the same person who lost her virginity to Jiang at the start of the story. She was saying to Jing Chan, hey, you're the same guy from that night. Jiangch said, yeah, exactly. I never expected a beautiful lady to spend the night with me and even pay me. Hearing this, Jiao's grabbed Jiangch by the collar and pulled him close, saying, you little rascal, I thought you were just an 18-year-old poor college student, that's why You showed me kindness, but I never really expected that you actually come from a rich family. After hearing this, Jiang suddenly grabs Zhao Zhao by the waist and pulls her close, saying, yeah, it's true, I'm a college student and I still need you to take care of me. How about after this event is over, I book a villa? Then we can spend some time together." Hearing this, Zhao Zhao replies in her usual charming way, "Yeah, definitely. And anyway, I want to drink. But yeah, be ready. You're gonna have to work even harder than before." Those two were flirting with each other like that, but suddenly we see this guy who looks like a sister or something showing up behind them. He's Zhao Zhao's ex. He's yelling, "Zhao Zhao, what the hell are you doing?" After seeing him there and hearing all that, Zhao Zhao gets super annoyed. She gets angry. She starts shouting. Jingya was saying, "Hey, I'm asking you, what are you doing here?" I asked. "Where should I go? What should I do? You've got nothing to do with this place." But then suddenly, that guy grabbed Jejo's hand and said, "Don't ever forget that we're engaged, and very soon we're going to get married." Hearing this only made Jejo even angrier. In a serious tone, she said, "Do you even have any shame? We were already engaged, but still you spent the night with my best friend. And here you are talking about marriage? Are you out of your mind? You've lost it." After hearing all this, that guy just smiles shamelessly and goes, "Come on, man, we're already engaged. Both our families have agreed. So no matter what, even if I have to force you, you're gonna marry me because you don't have any other option." After hearing this, I look at him with pure disgust, grinding my teeth, saying, "Ugh, disgusting. You just want to use me as cover so you can secretly spend the night with men and women behind my back. Sleep in bed with them. So guys, it's confirmed here that Jejo's ex is stuck. But then suddenly, we see a notification popping up on the game system. Congratulations, host. You've been given a mission. You have two options and you need to choose one. Option 1, leave without helping Jejo. You'll get a reward of 250 rivans. Option 2, help Jejo. Slap Jinga hard on the cheeks. This will triple your physical activity as a reward. Along with that, you'll also get a bad luck card. Seeing this system notification, Jang San gets super excited. He's thinking to himself, "Wow, what a great offer from the system." But he has just one question. If my physical activity triples as a reward, will my little brother become stronger too? Hearing this, after that, the system says that every single part of your body will definitely level up. Hearing this, Jungsh gets super excited. Then right after, he slaps Sajo's explosive right in the face and says, "If that's the case, then what's the delay with the good wishes?" Seeing Jungsh's action, Jang, impressed by his heroic spirit, appears behind him. She's completely blown away by Jangsh, totally smitten. The probability goes up by 10%, from 60% to 70%. But then suddenly, a bunch of security guards show up at the spot. One of them picks up Jejo's assistant from the ground and says, "Sir, please calm down. Nothing too serious has happened. Just calm down and let's sort this out." Hearing this, the guy starts shouting, "What do you mean sort it out? He hit me. Are you all blind? Call the police right away. Arrest him." Hearing this guy's words. After that, the security guard starts to freak out a bit. He's clueless about what to do next. He's thinking to himself, all the big shots who came to this auction today, I don't even dare to confront any of them. But then, on the other side, we see Jaja approaching Yungch. She's saying, "Don't worry. If the police show up here, I'll say he harassed me and you were just protecting me." After hearing this, Yungch is thinking to himself, I never thought Jejo would defend me like this. Honestly, this feeling is amazing. When Jin is just thinking about all this stuff, but suddenly Zhao's ex does some crazy nonsense and says things like that. It's such a big hotel, there's no shortage of CCTV cameras. I'll check the footage, gather the evidence, and whoever bullied me will have to pay for it. I'm not just gonna let it go that easily. As he's saying all this, suddenly we see a guy show up there with a knife. He's freaking out, swinging around and yelling like a madman, saying his wife is a disgusting woman who sneaks off to spend the night with some random guy. And when he came here to check it out, the security guard didn't let him in, which is totally unforgivable. He says he's gonna let all of you live, but on one condition. Bring those two cheating bastards here, or else he'll have to kill all of you right here. Just then, we suddenly see Zhao's ex stuck. He's with that guy. He's fallen right in front. He doesn't even have the courage to get up. He's shouting loudly, "No, no, please, please let me go, please, please let me go." But just then, a notification pops up on the other side of the junction system. "Congratulations, host. You've got a mission. You're given two options. You have to choose one. First option, run away from here with Jaw. You'll get a reward of 300 U1. Second option, stop that thug from committing the crime. You'll get your appearance boosted by 5 points as a reward. Along with that, you'll unlock an orange massage skill. With this skill, you can make any girl feel hypnotized." Honestly, after seeing this notification, my mind keeps telling me this. Stopping crime basically means protecting Jejo's experience. But the reward here is really awesome. I can't afford to miss this reward. But before that, the reward from my system needs to triple the effect of every activation of mine. Only after that. Whenever Jang-san uses the reward given by the system, each of his attributes triples. He feels it deep down inside. Wow, just like the system said, after my attributes tripled, I feel insanely strong now. I even feel like my little brother has become super strong too. I can keep fighting non-stop on the bed for like 5 to 6 hours without getting tired. Then suddenly, using his new strength, Jang-san throws a powerful punch right in that thug's face. The power of the punch is so strong that the thug flies several meters away. Seeing this scene right in front of them and watching Jiangchi's action, we then see Zhao feeling left behind. She becomes even more impressed with Jiangchi. She's shocked. In her mind, she's thinking, what am I even seeing? Jiangchi is my own rich second-generation young master, and on top of that, he's super strong and capable. How can someone be this awesome? Meanwhile, on the side, we see Zhao's ex, who looks like a sister figure, showing up. He's gay. He's saying all this while doing crazy stuff. Oh God, what's going on here? How can this guy be so strong? And guys, that's it for today's episode. So at the start of the video, we see Young. After giving that goon an epic 5, he just stands there full of swag. But then suddenly, all the people behind him start clapping and say, "Wow, this guy is amazing." Just by using 2 moves, he completely took down that goon. Honestly, this young man is super brave. Then the scene shifts. A few minutes later, we see the police arriving at the spot and arresting that goon. He starts to take him from there, but then we see all the police captains. One of them comes up to Jing Chang and pats him on the shoulder, saying, "Young man, thank you so much for stepping up and stopping that thug. Who knows what could have happened otherwise, how many people could have lost their lives." He's saying all this when suddenly we notice that in between them comes the woman who looks like a sister, Yao's ex-girlfriend. After that, pointing towards Jiang, he tells the police officer, "Officer, I want to report a crime. This guy humiliated me, and everyone here saw it." After hearing this, the police officer stayed back. The officer was asking everyone around, "Excuse me, did you all see that this man was harassed?" Then Zhao, overhearing the officer, stepped forward and said, "Officer, nothing like that happened. This guy was just trying to scam me in the name of marriage." After that, we'll see what happens with Zhao and the whole situation. She slowly starts explaining everything to the police officer in detail, but just then, a notification pops up on the junction system with a ding. "Congratulations, host. Your compatibility with Jia has increased to 90%. Seeing this notification, Jiangchu thinks to himself, "My compatibility with Jojo has hit 90%. That means she's totally fallen for me." Jiangchu is lost in these thoughts when suddenly we see Zhou approaching the police officer, explaining everything. After explaining, she gets a bit emotional. Then, seeing this, Jiangchu pulls her close and hugs her, saying, "Don't worry, I'm right here. As long as I'm around, no one will ever bully you again." Just then, a police officer appears beside them. After listening to Jiangchu's entire explanation and hearing about his experience, the officer says, "It seems like there's been some kind of misunderstanding here. So, I suggest you both sit down and talk things out to sort the problem." Hearing the police officer's words, Zhao started shouting from his experience, "What misunderstanding? What do you mean by that? Or is there CCTV footage?" After listening to all this, Jiangchi got extremely angry. He was thinking to himself, "This guy hurt Zhao but hasn't even apologized once." but actually, the officer was talking about checking the CCTV footage. Seeing this, it seemed like the only option was to use the bad lock card the system had given against this guy. Then, he thought to himself, the system is set up to activate the bad lock card on Jingya. As soon as this command is received by the system, a notification pops up saying, "Congratulations, the bad lock card on host Jingya has been activated." Right after the bad lock card is activated, a call comes through to Jingya's phone. When he picks it up, someone on the other end says, "Sir, this is a fraud alert. A withdrawal of 2 lakh rupees has been made from your bank account. Are you sure about this?" "Did you make the transaction yourself?" Jing says this after hearing everything. "No, this is a fraud. I'm actually somewhere else right now. I haven't even withdrawn any money yet." Before he can finish, we see a girl arrive there with some herbari. Then she's shouting, "Sir, is license plate number 3838 your car? A car hit a tree and that tree has fallen right on top of your car. Because of that, your car is totally crushed." That girl's words. After hearing that, Jingya was totally shocked. He was running away, saying, "What the hell is happening to me today on Holi?" Right after Jingya leaves, we see Jiang Chan. He's taking Jia away, saying, "It's true what they say, you reap what you sow." Then he adds, "All right, fine, let's go." The scene shifts, and a few minutes later, we see both of them at a hotel, clearly up to something. Jia is slowly undoing Jiang Chan's clothes, saying, "Come on, you're big. Let me check on my sister. You didn't get hurt, did you?" After hearing this, Young would say, "A loser like him could never hurt me." After hearing Jung say this, Jiang Chan would say, "Yeah, but still you should let your big sister check you out. By the way, I'm worried." After hearing this, Young would say in a slightly softer voice, "Hey man, how could this happen? I was kinda surprised. I never expected your ex to be that low." After hearing Jiangxi's words, Zhao said that when my grandmother was extremely hungry, at that time, she talked about my marriage with Jingya. So that my grandmother could peacefully face her death, I agreed to this marriage. But later I realized, after hearing someone's experience, Jing Chan said, "You've traveled a lot, but don't worry, Zhao, from now on I'll always be with you." Hearing this, Zhao got a little emotional and said with a blessing, "Jiang San, do you seriously not mind? Like, do you actually want to have this kind of relationship with me?" Meanwhile, she's thinking to herself, "Jiang San is my first man. Honestly, I'm not that deep into him, but this kind of relationship makes dating way easier." She's just thinking all this when suddenly we see Jiang. He grabs Jia and pulls her onto his lap. Then, smiling, he says, "Hey, of course I don't mind any of this. Don't worry. Go ahead. I promise I'll always treat you really well." After hearing this, Jiang Chan becomes super happy. She's looking at Jiang with a blessing. Sind is visible. Nearby, we see 2 middle-aged women. Jing Chan and Jiazhou are cleaning the room where they spent the night. One woman, while tidying the bed, says, "Oh God, what happened here last night?" Hearing this, the other woman replies, "Kids these days, honestly. He's got crazy stamina." After hearing this, the first woman says, "By the way, do you and your old man fool around like this in bed?" The second woman replies, "If my old man had that much energy, do you think I'd even make it to work on time?" Hearing this, the first woman says, "But seriously, at this age, having a handsome young guy around would be amazing." Just then, the scene shifts, showing us what happens a few minutes later. So there we see Young and Yao. After fighting all night together, they're having breakfast. Suddenly, Young gets a message in a group chat on his phone. It's from all Young Chan's friends, showing all the gifts their parents and relatives gave them when they got into the new college. All those gifts pop up right in front of Young. After seeing all this, Young says to Zhao, "Zhao, to celebrate my 18th birthday, can I take a picture of your legs?" After hearing what Jiangqi said, Zhao got a bit shocked. Still shocked, she said, "Oh, sorry. Is today your birthday?" Jangson replied, "No, it's not my birthday, but all my friends, after turning 18, have been posting pics of all the gifts they received, showing off. So I felt like posting something too, but I don't have anything. That's why." Then Zhao started taking pictures of each of Jiang Chang's different posts, one by one. just to tease all her friends. So Jai posts all those photos in the group. Then, after seeing all those photos, everyone in the group who's friends with Youngsh gets super emotional. They start feeling really jealous over Young. One guy is thinking to himself, Jangch, are you trying to kill me? Posting all this first thing in the morning? What are you trying to prove? Then the scene shifts. A few hours later, we see Young buying a Ferrari to get a new car. Young arrives at the showroom, and after taking a look around, a staff member welcomes him, saying, Hello, welcome to our Ferrari showroom. How can I help you today? Hearing this, Young asks, Well, do you have any cars on display? I'd like to take a look. The girl responds, Sure, come with me, I'll show you. Just then, Young notices a chubby old man beside him talking to a beautiful girl. Sovin, if you like this car, I can buy it for you. After hearing this, the red-haired girl, Sovin, said, Boss Sung, you're really kind, but buying a car is a serious decision. You need to be sure about it. And honestly, in my opinion, none of this really matters. Hearing this, Boss Sung deliberately touched Sobin's body and said, Come on, how can this not be important? Once your soap starts filming, every day you'll need a pickup. I'll come, and anyway, you should have a car to feel comfortable. After hearing this, Suben was saying, Really? But post-song, you don't need to do something like that. Our filming schedule isn't always the same, so you don't have to face any problems or come to pick me up. But if instead you give me the female lead role, I promise I'll work really hard. Hearing this, the boss held Subin's hand and pulled her towards him. Dragging him along, he's saying, Come on, just agree to do what I'm asking you. I promise you'll get the female lead role. Meanwhile, a few meters away, Young is showing us the scene in front of him. He's watching what's happening ahead. After overhearing all this between the two, he's thinking to himself, I came here just to check out the car, didn't expect to get front row seats to such a great drama. But hey, wait a minute. If I remember correctly, Subin is going to become a super famous actress in just a few years. By the way, a photo of her standing by the pool went viral, and ever since then, her career took off to a whole new level. She's just thinking about all this when the person standing in front of us, Boss Suan, speaks up. He says to Suben, Hey Suben, if you like this car, we'll buy it for you. Then we'll go grab a drink together, all right? Hearing this, Suben replies, Boss Wang, my opinion really doesn't matter, and the biggest thing is I have to go to the company for the meeting. After hearing this, Boss Wang gets really angry. Because he's short, it's hard for him to get close to Suben's face, but in a serious voice he says, You're just a small-time actress who hasn't even properly started her career yet, so don't push your luck too far. Otherwise, the consequences are going to be really bad. If you don't do what I'm telling you, if you don't do it, I won't invest in your movie at all. And the biggest thing is, stop acting so innocent. I've been nice to you for a really long time. If you want to move forward in your career, hurry up, go to the hotel, take a shower, and wait for me. Otherwise, you're going to be blacklisted forever. You'll never get another movie. Boss Wang is saying all this about Suben in front of everyone. After hearing all this, Suben feels really embarrassed. But still, she says it with confidence. Boss Wang, whether you invest in my movie or not, none of that matters. My answer will always be the same. I'm not agreeing to your conditions. From here on, you can do whatever you want. They're both discussing all this when suddenly we see a notification pop up on the Yang system. Congratulations, host. A special mission has been activated for you. The mission is to help Suven get out of his problem. Along with that, you need to sign a contract with Suben. And once this mission is complete, you'll get a special reward. After seeing this system notification, Young was quietly thinking to himself, Do I really have to sign a contract with Suben? But looking at it, it seems like before signing the contract, I need to show him that I have a lot of wealth. Only then, while thinking all this, he was telling the staff at the Ferrari showroom. By the way, I've heard that there are some conditions to follow if you want to purchase a Ferrari here. You need to have a credit check done to buy it. That's what the staff was saying after hearing all this. Yeah, you got it right. We have a limited edition Ferrari model at our showroom, and to purchase it, you need to pass a credit check. Plus, you have to buy 5 cars from our showroom. Only then can you become an established client of ours. After hearing all this explanation from the girl, Youngsun looked a bit worried and said, "So, you're saying I'm not qualified to buy the limited edition Ferrari?" After hearing this, the staff says, "Well, if you want to buy this Ferrari, it's not completely impossible. The waiting list is really long and sometimes the order doesn't get delivered on time. In situations like this, a slot opens up. You can book this slot by making a down payment, but you'll need to pay a little extra. Does that work for you?" After hearing this, Jungsh says, "All right then, if I get the card, I'll make the full payment." "I'll do it." After hearing what Jiangsh said, the staff got totally shocked. She was like, "Full payment?" Then she was thinking to herself, "Does this guy even know how much this car costs?" Meanwhile, on the other side, the boss Swang is also shocked after hearing Jiangsh. He's thinking, who is this guy's family's young master to be casually dropping this much cash? Honestly, I want to see if he's really buying the car or not. Then Sir is talking big again. Just then, Suven shows up beside him. After hearing what Jung said, she gets a bit shocked. She's thinking to herself that even Boss Wang would need to think twice before buying such an expensive car. But this guy wants to buy the limited edition Ferrari by paying the full amount up front. She's just about to think something like that when we see the staff on the side. They're telling Jung, "Sir, considering the Ferrari's price and customization, it'll be a total of 50 million. Even then, it has to be done." After hearing this, Jing Chan smiled politely and said, "All right, no problem." Meanwhile, after hearing Jiang Chan's words, the staff was leaving and said, "Sir, please wait a moment. I'll get the manager for you." Then the scene shifts. A few seconds later, the manager of the showroom arrives to meet Jiang Chan. Along with him comes young master Kun Fan, who is there with Jing Chan from an auction house. He was greeting Jiang Chan, saying, "I heard someone wants to buy a Ferrari by paying in full, so I came here to check it out, but I never expected this brother Jiang to be the one." "Brother Yang, we've met again," Jiang said after hearing that. "Well, I just got to Tanega City, and honestly, roaming around without a car feels kinda uncomfortable, so I thought I'd casually buy a car," Jiang added. After hearing this, Kun Fan was shocked and said, "Come on, bro, you're just saying it casually." But then, the showroom manager on the side is asking, "Young Master Kun, is he your friend?" After hearing this, the Queen fans introduce Jung and say, "This is Brother Jung. I just met him yesterday. By the way, are you looking at the watch on his wrist? It sold for 18 million at yesterday's auction. Old Wang, you're really lucky. You've got a fantastic customer." Hearing all this, the showroom manager looks closely at Jingch. He's thinking to himself, this gentleman is seriously loaded. Then, shaking hands with Jung, he says, "Hello, Mr. Jiang. Thank you so much for choosing our brand. The credit check is just a formality, and honestly, if you can drop 18 million on a watch, buying a car won't be a big deal for you, so don't worry." Then he starts the registration process for him. While he's talking about all this, suddenly let's watch Sabine. She's been listening to all this. Quietly, she's thinking, yesterday he bought an 18 million watch, and today he's here to buy a 50 million car. I've never seen this kind of rich second-generation young master before. If my guess is right, this Mr. Young's net worth must be around 100 million yuan, maybe even more. That's what she's thinking. Just then, we see Boss Sung off to the side. He's telling Subin, "Stop staring over there. I'm not in the mood to buy a car right now." "Nope. So anyway, let's go grab a drink. As long as you keep me happy, I'll keep investing in your flame." After hearing this, Suben quietly says, "Boss Wang, I really need to go to the company for a meeting." Hearing this, Boss Wang gets super angry. As he's leaving, he yells, "Suben, you should know exactly what happens when you go against me. Just wait. I'll totally ruin your acting career. I'll totally wreck it." After the boss Sung leaves, we see someone suddenly calling out to Suben from behind. Miss Suben. When Suben turns around after hearing this, we see it's none other than Jung. He says, "Miss Suben, my name's Jung. I just overheard your conversation, and I also found out that your deal with that investor has fallen through. But don't worry now. If he doesn't invest, if there's an opportunity, I'll do it." After hearing Jiangch say this, Suben was totally shocked. Still shocked, she asked, Are you really going to invest? Is this for real? Then to herself, she thought, this guy is completely different from Boss Wang. Well, now that Boss Wang doesn't want to invest in my film anymore, when I go back to the company, explaining things might get a bit tricky. But honestly, I don't want to sleep with him just for my career. She was thinking all this when suddenly, Jung was saying, well, I'm a bit busy today, so let's talk about the investment tomorrow. After hearing this, Su-ben became really happy. Smiling, she said, all right then, Mr. Jung, no problem. I'll wait for your message. By the way, can we add each other on chat? Jung Chen replied, yeah, sure, no problem. After that, they both added each other on chat. Then the scene shifts. A few minutes later, we see Jung Chen reading Su-ben's messages. After making the deal, the showroom manager says, so how long will it take for the car to arrive? Hearing this, the showroom manager replies, well, if we're talking about the first service, it'll take about a year. Jang gets a bit shocked after hearing this. He starts doubting if it really takes that long, and suddenly, we look at the fan. The guy puts his hand on Yang's shoulder and says, hey bro, a car show is coming up in a few days. There'll be every brand there like Lamborghini, Jaguar, and much more. If you want, you can take the car from that event and go home. Do you want to go there to check it out? After hearing this, Jang Chan says, yeah, sure, no problem. Then the scene shifts. We see a scene a few hours later. We spot a restaurant called Rihan right there, and Jang Chan has just arrived at the same place. But then suddenly, we see a beautiful girl named Jiaojia standing in front of him, already dressed up and waiting for Jang. After that, Jiaojia takes Jang Chan's hand. She grabs him and brings him over to a dining table. There's already a bunch of food on the table, and like she does with all the food, she starts telling Yao Jiasen all about it in detail. Just then, we see Jangan. Ignoring everything Zhao is saying, he suddenly comes up from behind and hugs her. He says, but Zhao, I actually want to tell you something. Hearing this, Zhao gets a little embarrassed. She smiles and says, you bad boy, you totally wore me out last night. So let me rest for a few hours or else I won't be able to survive on your hands. After hearing this, Jang Soon says, all right, no problem. I can let you rest. But before that, you have to call me by a nicer name. Hearing this, she kisses Jang Soon's cheek lovingly and says, husband. Jang Soon, feeling happy after hearing this, says, I really like that. Okay then, I'll let you rest. I'm giving you permission to do it. Oh, by the way, do you know Su-ben? After hearing this, Zhao says, Su-ben, are you talking about the actress from my company? Why? What's up, Jiang Chen? Don't tell me you've started liking Su-ben. Jiang Chen replies, come on, I'm not saying I like her. You can just call it an encounter. I feel like she has potential. After hearing this, Zhao says, the company isn't giving her enough value right now, but if we're talking about potential, it's true that he has a pretty good amount of it. By the way, Jung, if you like me, I can help you out. And as for me, you can come to me whenever you want. I won't create any trouble because of jealousy. Hearing this, Jung places his hand on Yao's forehead and says, girl, don't worry. As long as you're my woman, I will always treat you really well. Right then, Zhao says, if that's the case, then what about him? Wanna invest? After hearing all this, Jung would say, exactly right. I want to sign a contract with him and invest in him. Then Zhao would say, Su-ben's contract with our company hasn't expired yet, so if you want to sign a contract with him, you'll have to buy him out, which will cost around 1 million yen. And the biggest thing is, to get him to sign a contract, you'll need to set up a company first. After hearing this, Jung would say, forget it, you go. Don't worry about the money. Once the company is established, you'll be the one running it, and I'll give you some shares of the company. After that, Jang Money is thinking that if Su-ben gets good resources, she'll become a top-notch actress within just 2 years, just like it happened in the past. She has huge potential. Jang Chan is thinking all this when Zhao suddenly says, Jang Chan, I can't accept this. If you establish the company, to run that company, I'll be responsible. But I can't accept any shares. Just make sure you pay me a decent salary. After that, do whatever your heart says. I know Jungchan has more than enough money, but I don't want him to face any problems because of my wishes. Hearing this, Jungchan says, "You're really smart. Why are you being so formal? I don't want any formalities between us." It's only after hearing Young's words that we look at Ja. She gently places her hand on Yang's cheek and breaks down crying. Through her tears, she says, "Jungchan, if I'm honest, my life didn't mean anything before I met you. Every morning after waking up, someone or the other would be pressuring me to get married. But you showed me what it truly feels like to love someone. And just being with you makes me feel alive." Zhao, after holding all this pain inside her heart for so many years, reveals everything to Jiang, and then suddenly, we see that Young gets a message on his phone, and it's not from anyone else but Su Ven. The message says, "Well, I know this is a bit straightforward, but still, I want to confirm something. Mr. Young, where and what time shall we meet tomorrow?" After reading Su Ven's message, Young smiles to himself and thinks, well, looks like someone is in a big hurry. And guys, that's where today's episode ends.